Imagine that it is the middle of the night. Britain is fast sleeping and there is silence in the streets. The only sound is that of a train cutting through the night with millions of pounds in cash, money that was meant to be untouchable, safeguarded by habit, rules, and trust. However, the rules will be broken tonight. A single red signal lies somewhere ahead. It's not an error, it's a trap, and everything shifts when the train slows down. One of the most audacious heists in history will be carried out in a matter of minutes by a handful of regular folks. Yeah, not a single alarm. There was no gunfire, just deadly accuracy and flawless timing, no chaos. The money will disappear by morning, leaving the nation with an unexpected question. How could this occur? Who were these men who outwitted the whole country? Beat, silence, the sound of footsteps on gravel, then vanished into the darkness. Number 11. Dead of Night. August 8th, 1963 did not announce itself as a night of history. There were no storms, no sirens, no warning signs, just countryside silence, fields stretching into darkness, small homes asleep, and a Royal Mail train cutting through the night with mechanical certainty. This train had run the same route countless times. It was trusted, almost invisible in its reliability. Inside, men did their jobs without fear, unaware that their routine had been studied, rehearsed, and quietly hijacked by strangers who had turned patience into a weapon. Ahead, a single red signal waited, innocent in appearance, devastating in consequence. Number 10. A brittle system. Britain in the early 1960s was built on discipline. You followed rules, you trusted authority, you stayed in your lane socially and economically. For many working-class citizens, life felt predetermined. Hard work didn't always lead to freedom. Power felt distant, untouchable. So when news spread that the Royal Mail symbol of national reliability had been violated, it struck a nerve. This wasn't just a robbery. It was proof that the system everyone depended on was not as solid as it appeared, and that realization made people uncomfortable and curious. Number 9. The thinkers. The men behind the robbery weren't driven by chaos or desperation. They were driven by confidence, dangerous confidence. Bruce Reynolds, the mastermind, believed intelligence was a weapon sharper than violence. He didn't want blood. He wanted control. The gang studied train schedules like scripture. They learned how signals worked, how staff reacted under pressure, how long it took for help to arrive. This wasn't a crime of impulse. It was a chess game played against the state itself. And every move had been rehearsed long before the first piece touched the board. Number 8, the red lie. The plan relied on one deceptively simple act, a false red signal. On the railway, red means absolute authority, no debate, no hesitation. When the driver saw it glowing in the distance, his instincts kicked in automatically. He slowed the train, unaware that he was obeying a lie. That moment, quiet, procedural, unremarkable, was the most powerful moment of the entire robbery, because systems don't collapse with explosions, they collapse when trust is exploited, and the red signal proved just how fragile obedience can be. Number 7. Controlled chaos. When the train stopped, fear didn't explode, it crept. The robbers emerged with discipline, voices low but firm. There were no wild gestures, no shaking hands. Crew members were restrained efficiently, almost respectfully. Inside the mail car, the air was thick with paper dust and tension. Money meant to disappear quietly into banks now became painfully present. Heavy sacks lifted again and again as seconds bled away. Every rustle sounded louder than it should. Every breath felt like a countdown. Calm was mandatory. Panic would ruin everything. Number 6. Weight of money. Loading the cash was grueling. Paper money doesn't look heavy until you have to carry it. Sweat-soaked shirts. Breathing quickened, muscles burned. With every bag moved, the risk increased. The men knew they couldn't take everything. Greed would destroy them. So they made a choice, take enough to change their lives, but not enough to slow them down. That decision, made under pressure, would define how close they came to perfection. Number 5. Disappearance. And then, just like that, it was over. No sirens, no chase. The train sat stranded, its crew shaken but alive. By the time authorities understood the scale of what had happened, the robbers were already ghosts. Britain woke to confusion. Newspapers scrambled for details. A robbery without violence felt almost unreal. How could something so massive happen so quietly? The absence of chaos made the crime feel even more unsettling, like something had slipped through reality itself. Number 4. False safety. Leathers, Lade Farm was meant to be temporary, a place to breathe, to wait, but safety breeds carelessness. The tension that had protected the gang dissolved into laughter and relief. They joked, they relaxed, they played Monopoly, ironically, using real stolen money. Cups were left on tables, cigarettes burned down to filters, fingerprints formed silently. In trying to enjoy their success, they unknowingly documented their guilt. The farm became less of a hideout and more of a crime scene waiting to be discovered. Number 3, nation watching. When the police closed in, Britain became obsessed. Every arrest felt like an episode in a larger story. Faces of suspects filled front pages, conversations in pubs shifted from football to speculation. But something strange happened. Not everyone wanted the robbers punished harshly. Some admired the intelligence, the restraint, the audacity. In a society built on rules, watching those rules as outplayed felt thrilling. Justice was demanded, but fascination lingered. Number 2, Biggs effect. Ronnie Biggs changed everything. His prison escape turned a crime into legend. He didn't hide in shame, he performed interviews, smiles, a life lived openly in exile. To the authorities, he was humiliation personified. To the public, he was irresistible. His existence kept the robbery alive long after the money was recovered and sentences were served. Biggs proved that in the modern age, crime could outlive punishment. Number 1, unbroken echo. The Great Train Robbery endures because it exposed something timeless. Systems work only as long as people believe in them. One fake signal shattered that belief. Even today, trains obey red lights without question. But somewhere in that obedience lives the memory of 1963, a reminder that order is powerful but never invincible. The robbery didn't just steal money, it stole certainty, and that loss still echoes down the tracks. If you enjoyed the story, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a true crime tale like this. Comment below, what would you have done if you were there that night?